All right, a tier for Eddie. I'm just gonna jump right into it because there's a lot of stuff to cover. We've got the solo, got the main melody part, all the additions he makes to it, and the basic chords. This is in standard tuning. In terms of effects, I've just got some phaser and some delay, right? And then it's an E major, although he uses a lot of the C sharp minor stuff, but it's in E major. Again, standard tuning, although I think the pitch might be a little warbled on the album, Chocolate and Cheese, although my guitar might be out of tune a little bit. It still sounds good enough, right? Alright, so let's talk about the basic chords first. Now, obviously, when they play this live, the attention's on Diener, as it should be, but it makes it a little bit hard to see what Gene is playing, because he's strumming out the rhythm on this when they play it live. I don't know if it's all Dean on the studio or what. I'm going to show you the basic chords, and I'm going to delve into a little bit of what he does, what I see him doing live. It's kind of weird. But it's F sharp minor, E major. Then that repeats. Then walk up. Right, so basically playing the power chords of F sharp, G, G sharp, with a little open E thrown in there. You could be playing the full bar chords, but just be playing the low strings. And then we got a G sharp 7. You can throw in the high note or not if you don't want to. I don't really hear that. C sharp minor. Then that repeats. A major. Then G sharp again. F sharp minor. Repeats. And that's pretty much it. Then it cycles. And then in terms of what he's doing live, and again, what I hear on the studio recording, because that's what I'm basing this off of, especially during the solo parts. But live, what I see Gene do is really weird, because I see his fingers are in this position. What I hear is F sharp minor, and at first I was like, oh, he's just playing F sharp minor up here, and he's playing the E major up here, right? He is, but not. It's weird. He's playing F sharp minor 7, which, you know, it's easy and fun. It's cool. It sounds really good. And he's playing E major. But I'm like, what is his fingers doing? What is his fingers doing? And he's doing, right? So power chord on here, the A and D, and then he's got this note, this high note on the 10 of the B. And as far as I can tell, he's just muting the G and high E. And he's got his finger on the 10th of the E, right? So it's just very weird, because I don't hear this on the album version, but I guess he could be doing that. I don't hear that at all. Or maybe he's just not playing that. Maybe he's just muting it. I don't know. He's just playing like those 3 notes. But I don't know. For me, it's just way more comfortable to do this. And then E major. Again, he does the weird finger thing where he's got but I do not hear any notes even when they play it live that are on that low E string except open when he hits that chord. So I think he might just be playing it like you'd normally play that chord, just fingering it weird. Yeah, he does his fingers like this, and I'm like, what? Anyway, so those are pretty much the chords. And then during the solo, it just cycles between two chords. It's just F sharp minor, although on the album it's, you know, up here definitely, or you could play it down here. But it's like F sharp minor 7 and C sharp. Sometimes it feels like, sometimes it definitely sounds like there are definitely points where he's got that major third in there, and it's like a dominant 7, C sharp dominant 7. But then there's other parts where it feels like he drops it. It's weird. It's so weird. It's so bizarre. Maybe he's got like both of them going on in this really dissonant chord where he's got the minor third up here. He's got it major third on the G string. That doesn't sound like what's happening. Maybe it could be. Maybe it's just dropping it every once in a while. I have no idea. But I mean, that's my best guess. So I just say just do C sharp dominant 7 because that makes more sense because we're going to the F sharp. So it just makes sense to cycle back between those two instead of minor. Alright, so he's just cycling back and forth between those. And then the very last bit of the song, right when he's doing this lick, right, he's playing the F sharp, and then it resolves to the E. And that's where it ends. You'd also play here. Right. Okay, so those are the chords. Now let's get on to the main melody part. So we're sliding in. Alright, so you're going to slide in on the 11, the D. I'm going to play on the G. And let that sustain for a while. That's something you're going to need to get used to during the solo, and to get in the headspace of how to sort of emulate Diener's style, and the vibe of the song is to leave a lot of space and to really feel each note as you pluck it, which I'll explain how to do that. But I can't explain how to feel, you know, you just have to feel it. That just comes from a lot of experience and whatnot. So, little vibrato on that, not that much. Little bend up there, and bend back down, and repeat. And then alright, so on the B, right, 9, 10, then on the G, then pick up, and then pick as you're going down. Sometimes you may be throwing a little hammer on, yeah, a little flutter there. But he's resolving on that 11 of the D, and then he repeats. Then he does this lick. Couple slight variations on that, but just the basic skeletal version is, right, starting on the 9 of the E, 12, 10, 9, then just 11, 9, 11, 9, and then on the A, does a little chromatic walk down, throws in the blues note. Going back onto this 9 of the E, then you can slide up to there. That's what I prefer to do, but you can also go just pick and then hammer on, as long as you end up on that 7. And then up here on the 14 of the high E, last little phrase there. So it's like a whole step, but it just barely isn't. It could just be a half step. One thing's for sure is that the second bend this one, is a little bit higher than the first. So, all right, so then you pick that and slide down. All right, and then it repeats. And this is where you just add in a lot of little touches, right? So, and here what he does, because it's the same melody, and he repeats it, I believe, 4 times. So he plays it 5 times total. Well, he doesn't, not during the solo. He plays it 4 times before he solos over it, right? And again, he does it variations of how many times they do it. I'm not talking about live stuff. I'm just talking about on the album, right? He kind of does something similar to, hear me out, he kind of does something similar that like Steve Vai would do, where he takes the same melody and just adds little extra touches to it. And a lot of blues artists do this, and it's very appropriate. Like that first lick, for example, sometimes he'll do this. Right, so just that little hammer-on pull-off thing, and then he'll climb down. Right, so he does that, but he does other stuff. He also do. That's probably my favorite little addition in the song. I love that lick. You can bend up there. You also go. And you can slide up with a little minor third dyad there. Up there in these 2 notes on the G and B. But I just hear, it's alright. I just hear the G string there. And then, I love that little double stop there on the E and B. And just slide up there, and then he slides down. Alright, so just, and then with this little run, he goes. Sometimes he'll throw in those blues notes on the D, those little chromatic notes on the D string. Sometimes we'll do a little pause on this note, so, right, so instead of just going, he'll go, right, little touches like that. And then there's during the last time through, he does this. He does this lick. He does that an octave higher up here. Right, so that's just. I don't even think he's bending up on the B string. But this is up here on the 16 to 17 of the E. And then B, 19 down to 17. And resolving down on that G, right? 18, I think. Yeah, 18. He throws this in. Love those 2 little notes. Alright, and then he does the walk down. Alright, and then with the album version of the solo, I'm going to get into. Alright, so just add some distortion, same effects as I had before, just distortion. And he's going to start off here. You can slide up there to the 9 from the 7 on the E, or you can hammer on. You could be doing either. I hear slides on all those except for the A to the A7 to A9. The rest of those are slides. All right, so ends there. Half step bend here on G11. Little hammer on pull off. Then this trill. He's gonna rake into the B12 there, or a frap, as Dean would say. It's a very popular technique, especially among guitarists like Dean, and his influences, like obviously Eddie, who this song is a tribute to. So obviously you're gonna do that, and obviously David Gilmour, who loves doing that. But anyway. Right, so it's just 9 to 12. Aside from that first rake, it's pretty much all just hammer on pull off. I like to hold the other strings with my like the back of my finger, with like my thumb and my middle finger with the high E, so that they're not ringing out, because you don't want that to happen. Because then, stuff like that could happen. And you can speed this up if you want. And that's always cool. On the album, he pretty much keeps it slow and steady. And full step bend on the B12. And then he kind of pulls off there. Alright, so full step on the E12. Alright, so ever so slight vibrato on that note, by the way. And then he's going to do a similar lick to what he did before. Except now it's in a slightly different context, right? So So starting off here. Alright, so all those chromatic notes on the D and A. It's going to go down here. And then it's going to bend up here. You either pull off there on that and pull off to open, or you can pluck the open. It's going to go hammer on back there, right? So it's going to go full step bend back down. Some vibrato on that. As you come back down. And it's going to go. Alright, so on the 11 to the A, going up to the D. Sorry. Alright, so let's. Make your way up here to the 11 to 12 on the B. You hammer on, then pluck again and slide. And then 12, 14. Alright, so. Sorry. Alright, so, and then we're going to go. Alright, so that's just 14, 12. I think those are all picked. And then we're gonna... This is a cool part. You go full step bend. Quick little bend down, right? And then he's gonna... This part is a little tricky to get the vibe right, because he's gonna bend up a full step. He's gonna bend up, and he's gonna hit the 9 of the E. And then you're gonna kind of come down like half step by half step, right? Kind of like that, right? And then he just does this, right? And that's, again, this really big feel part, because you want to kind of, as you're picking it, sort of mute it a little bit every time you come back down, right? You don't want just gonna go, you know, that sounds fine, but it doesn't have quite as much like feel or soul to it, you know. Right, and be a little abrupt with those bends. And then he's gonna slide up here, do this cool little lick, slide up to this 18 of the G, and then go to 16 of the B, 14, 16 of the E. So full step here. And then all the way up here on the 21st, he does 2 bends here, and the first one's definitely longer than the second one's very brief. It's like, sorry, it's kind of like that. Full step on both of those, but again, the second one's very brief. It's like that. All right, so, and then he does this. All right, so 19, 16, then slide down from 15 to 14. Then he's going to go little hammer on pull off there on the 14, 16, the E, then back, and he's going to pluck 17 of the B. Then he's going to go from 14 to 17. Sorry. He's going to hit down on the G, 16. Then he's going to hit that, and he's going to come up here and make a full step. He does a kind of, he starts it off as a full step. He kind of brings it up a little bit higher than that. He's kind of, I think he's trying to go up. This is on the 19 of the B. All right, so you could also be sliding up real quick from the 17, right? So I'm not really sure if I hear that. You could just go up straight from that fret. So, and he kind of bends it up, and then until he hits. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but it sounds cool. I hear it's the open G and B, right? And then he kind of lets it breathe for a second. Again, don't know if he's trying to regain his composure after a mistake or if he's just letting it speak. That's the beauty of it, you know? It's like Dean himself said, if you swing really hard, it's like golf, you know? You just swing, if you don't know what you're doing, just swing as hard as you possibly can so that on the off chance that something cool happens, you'll look cooler. I'm not saying he didn't know what he was doing. It's just words from the man himself. All right, so, and then after that, we get... All right, so cool little lick to end it. Little descending lick here. So this is just on the B, pick, hammer on, pull off, and then resolving on the lower string. All right, and that pattern repeats. So here. Then the fretting changes. You can see what I'm doing though. So then G and D. Then D and A. Then A and E. And then once you come down here to the 16 of the E, right? So this is pretty much all. You're just gonna slide, right? So after you come down here, I hear he picks this. He picks the 14, and he slides up, and then from there on, it's pretty much just slides. All right, so it's gonna slide 14 up to 16, down to 14, down to 12, then down to 9, then back up to 12, then back down to 9, and then back up to 14, then back down to 12. And that's how it ends. So alright. This is a long lesson, but thank you for watching. Thank you for this request. Stay tuned for more stuff, hopefully in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and just have an awesome day.